Welcome to the FLEXAFIT Show. On today's episode, we're going to cover how to do a Lutz jump off the ice. So the first step to the Lutz jump off the ice is going to be discussing the positions that we need to hit before takeoff. So as we do this on the floor, you're going to see how it will look very similar to the on-ice jump once we take it through in full speed. In slow motion, we're going to be going through a couple different parts, talking about the standing position, the reach back position, the picking position, and then the follow through. So we're gonna go through all of that, and then of course the in-air position and landing will come after that, which will follow based on the takeoff. So let's begin by talking about the takeoff position. So when we start in off ice, we're going to stand nice and tall. So I'm gonna start by demonstrating the standing position. So whichever way you do your takeoff with the cross position or mohawks, we're going to end up in this position right here. So I like to think of it as the left arm. If I'm jumping on my left foot, picking off the right and landing on the right, I want to think about the left arm kind of in line with the right hip and the back. And then if I place my hand behind, as I lift up, it's going to be in line with that right hip. So that's that starting position. And then having the free foot somewhere close to the ankle on the standing position. So we have our nice comfortable stance here. And when we're standing on the floor, I like to think of it as like pressing the ball of the foot, so both outside and inside part, so you're really grounding down into the ground. And then we have our nice position with a tall, long spine. Second part to this jump is going to be the reach. So we have step one and then step two. Now, as we do the reach back, we're going to try to think about keeping the hips nice and square here as you're pulling back. And then the free foot will go directly behind the heel as we reach back. So the next step is we're thinking about the position with the shoulders and the hips. So as you think of it as a rectangle, we're going as one unit to rotate in a counter direction, and which will take us up into the air when we go in the opposite direction. So as you're standing there, you do your reach back, and then from here, everything is moving together, going back behind you. And now as the pick goes in, the difference between flip and Lutz is that we're going to be really concentrating on pressing towards the outside edge. So I'm thinking of pressing my foot to the outside edge as I reach back, and maintaining that press as I pick my foot under with a little bit of a twist in the foot, because here, if you watch on the ice, that's exactly what happens when this foot glides into this one. We're already facing a little bit off this way, so we can pivot through a lot quicker and get that fast twitch going into the jump. So if I take step one, step two, and then three is my picking foot, we're gonna think about keeping the head in front, and the arm stays here. As we're lifting, everything will start to go. Now, an alternative technique would be the arm starts to leave and then we pull in. So it would look like this. You're reaching, as you're picking, everything starts to rotate and then lock in. So depending on which way your coach teaches it, you can follow along the technical on that side. So you're nice and tall, 1, 2, 3. And now we go together as one unit, and 4 will be that H position lift up. So if I do it from the side, reach, pivot, and then lifting up H position, and then it's gonna lock into rotation. So from there, when we think about the draw in, you wanna keep this leg on the left side as it's coming through, not coming out of the circle like this, but staying in front of that foot so that it can get into that lock-in position a lot quicker for rotation. So if I do a complete walkthrough of this exercise, we're gonna see it from the front here. Step 1, step 2, reach, step 3, 4, lift up and out. So again, from the side, 1, press back, 2, pick 3, and lift. And here you have a nice Lutz jump that looks very similar to on the ice. Now, one of the biggest things with the Lutz on the floor that I see usually with skaters is that the picking foot goes out to the side a little bit too far. And once the picking foot goes to the side, then we see a big drop in the shoulder, and also it sometimes corresponds to the inside edge switch when you see the skater switching from an outside to inside. A lot of times what happens is the release of the free leg or of the skating leg on that left side. If I'm standing there, I'm releasing too early from the bend position. So I would go like this. As I'm bending, the release happens too early, and then everything drops over to the inside, and then the edge switches at that last second. So it's important to note, even off ice, when you're practicing the Lutz jump, that you maintain that pressure in that skating knee all the way until the pick goes in, so that when the follow through happens, you can maintain that outside edge. So I hope I answered a few of your questions regarding the off-ice jump for the Lutz. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me, info@flexafit.com, for more information. And if you have a little bit of a struggle on the Lutz jump, if you want to work through it, you can join our off-ice classes. We cover all the jumps each week. And in my class on Thursday nights, we cover the jumps all the way through the Lutz jump each week, depending on the week. So we can really focus in on what you need specifically, because every skater has a different little thing happening with their jumps, right? So it really depends individually how you are taking off and how you need to progress through the progressions to make sure that your jump is following through properly in the off-ice classes. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.